Welcome to the Rob and Kale podcast. Rob Sanders.
Clemson is going to kick the shit out of the South Carolina Gamecocks probably for the next 10 years every time they run across each other.
Kale Carolina Jackpot Hall.
The South Carolina Gamecocks are weaker than a plate full of piss.
The Rob and Kale podcast.
And welcome into the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening as we have the fine words of Jim Cornette, who does not speak any lies, ladies and gentlemen. Everything Jim Cornette said there was an absolute fact. And if Jackpot, if you got a problem with that, you can politely go to that Dairy Queen window and fuck yourself. Let's welcome in Carolina Jackpot on the show. What's up, buddy?
I don't know who you're talking to, but you better clean up that foul language right now.
I better clean up my foul language. Anyway, by the way, one of our sponsors got some hate email about you, Jackpot. I have not told you this because I want you to respond live on the air tonight to hate email that our sponsors are getting about you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's coming down the pipe as well. We're also going to talk about overrated and underrated coaches tonight. Stick around because maybe your coach is overrated or maybe your coach is underrated. We'll get into that and whatever other dreckery and whatever else we can get into this evening on the program. As I said, we've got a couple of sponsors. We'll thank those in a moment. But Jackpot, how was your day, sir?
Great. I don't know if everyone's seen it or not. They probably have. But in case you haven't, go back a few videos on the Carolina Jackpot channel. We've got a new channel that I just started up, has one video so far. Rockabilly 864. It's where all the food reviews can be found from now on. We've got one food review on there so far. Didn't go so well, but I've got we're getting close to 200 subscribers to that new channel already in just a few days, and I really appreciate that. A lot of traffic from this page and went over there to view that. So yeah, it's great. And I went and ate this afternoon, a couple of hours away at an establishment that I've already reviewed one time before, but I had to go back and do it for the Rockabilly channel. And I'm going to edit that one and probably upload it at some point tomorrow. So, yeah, my day was busy. It was warm out today. And tomorrow's going to be even busier because I'll be hanging around the house here. Got to do yard work. And then on Tuesday, I'm actually will be driving back to North Carolina late on Tuesday evening because got stepdaughter's high school graduation from Hillcrest High School here in Simpsonville. Yeah, she'll be graduating Wednesday or Tuesday afternoon over to the old Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, formerly known as the Bilo Center. So, yeah, that's going to be a fun-filled day.
Yeah. And by the way, I got a couple of messages from folks, and they were asking if you were going to stop doing your college football content. From what I gather, you're going to do food reviews on the Rockabilly channel, and college football content is going to stay here.
Exactly. Rockabilly, yeah.
Right?
I mean, I explained all that in the video, so apparently they didn't watch it. But Rockabilly 864 is strictly going to be for the food review content. This is about college football, Carolina Jackpot. I had the two genres kind of mixed up together, and I think it may have thrown the algorithm off a little bit. Not getting the views you used to get on the channel. It used to be about every video I'd drop on here for a while. It was getting about 1,000 views on it at least. And, you know, they've kind of dwindled down from that. And I get the old stuff. Well, you know, Jackpot, it's the off season, blah, blah, blah. What that bullshit. Uncle Lou did a video about Dan Mullen a week after I did it, about him becoming a high school counselor, coach, or whatever. This summit gets 15,000 views. Mine gets like 400, which is fine. I understand that. He has a lot more subscribers, but it just goes to show you it don't have to be football season for you to get traffic on your channel. I mean, hell, we got a goddamn West Virginia fan that lives in South Carolina right here in the upstate somewhere near me that's got a damn channel that's been around for a cup of coffee that's getting a shit ton more views than this one. Pisses me the fuck off. He talks so goddamn fast you can't even understand what the fuck he's saying.
Yeah.
West fucking
Anyway.
Virginia. Like they ran so fucking fast, y'all couldn't even tackle him. Remember, he talked so I can't even hear him. Woohoo!
God damn it.
Anyway,
Jackpot's on fire
sorry.
tonight. Anyway, but I just wanted to put that out there. Jackpot's football content is not going anywhere. We'll still have all of our
Gamecock Chuck, great Gamecock fan, by the way. Thank you for your service. I didn't know
all right.
he was in the Marine Corps from 93 to 01. Thank you very much, Gamecock Chuck.
Yeah.
You the man.
By the way, anybody that was a vet, put your stuff over there. We'll give you shout outs tonight. So appreciate all the veterans that are out there. I know the folks I serve with, I'm so happy. A lot of them are retiring right now. A lot of them are made Master Chief and shit. And I remember like being like a grunt seaman and being like, and fuck these Master Chief. Now, like 3 of my friends made Master Chief in the Coast Guard. And I'm like, man, you guys are Master Chiefs. We used to motherfuck guys like you, but now you're kind of the king all be all. So, but if you're a vet, let us know. We'll shout you out over here in the chat room tonight. By the way, let's thank our sponsors really quickly here. Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia, Highway 1 diagonal from the Walmart. Retro video games, ice cold beer, also great food, great people at Callaway's. That's Callaway's Bar and Grill.com. The only Golden Tea Lounge in Columbia. If you're into Golden Tea, that's where you got to play. Also, Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. The story time with Uncle Jackpot. Jackpot, read away.
Okay, I'm gonna ad-lib this one, sir. I took down some little notes here because I dropped and fucked up my regular iPad last night.
Okay.
I'm reading off my work iPad, which I don't have blah 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 on here, but I wrote the notes and I got the gist of it, so I think I can do this. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Mark Kingston turned our baseball program from a Corvette into a Chevette. The only athletic programs that we have going for us are women's basketball and lacrosse. Clemson has more wins in Columbia than South Carolina has in the entire series against Clemson. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. We appreciate Dennis and the stuff that he does. Awesomeness from Dennis Wilson. By the way, I got a message from said Dennis Wilson today. I'm going to read it to you. This was a message sent directly to him, and I'm going to read it to you. This is the direct line. This is from a gentleman in Swansea, South Carolina. He says, any tips on where I can order up a fresh plate full of piss this Memorial Day weekend? Currently, I'm fresh out. I prefer it with mustard-based fish, if you will. If I have to take the Eastern North Carolina-style vinegar and pepper, so be it. Please inform Cale Hall of this information, if you will. Thank you. You got people messaging you about you in Swansea to Dennis wanting a plate full of piss, sir. Shame on you.
That has the strong connotations of Dennis's twin brother.
Is Dennis's twin brother Donis? I think that's what his name is, Donis. So you have Donis and Dennis.
Might be his cousin, kind of like Clemson Craig is Carolina Jackpot's cousin. It may be. It might be. It could be.
By the way, quick thing on Dennis Wilson. I got to interview, it was his high school football coach, but I interviewed him because he's the athletic director out for the district out there. So
his high school football coach is still alive. Props to him.
Yeah, that's true, but he's the superintendent of schools now. And when I asked him about Dennis, he goes, yeah, Dennis was a great player, but guess what? When he left the year after he graduated, we won the state title. He had to leave for us to win a state title. So that tells you all you need to know about Dennis Wilson and his athletic ability.
There you go. He's probably clogging up a damn spot for somebody that was more talented.
Exactly. Anyway, so there's that. All right, Jackpot, we appreciate Dennis, and we appreciate the vets in our chat. Bluegrass Sports Media was in the Marine Corps. Congrats to you, sir. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Yep. Whoever else. Tennille says, my brother and dad were in the Marines. Salute to them, too. I love the folks that are veterans, man. Just so
right
cool.
Now, I'm going to turn this around real quick. I've got the volume turned down. Right now, I'm currently watching with the volume turned down WrestleMania 4. That was the tournament for the WWF Championship. Can you tell me who that is over there whipping that?
That's Bam Bam Bigelow and the One Man Gang.
Exactly. You ever seen the shoot interview with the One Man Gang?
Yeah, I did. The what? Yeah, I seen the. Did you see the clip of him with Dusty Rhodes today, where they were wrestling and he was selling for Dusty Rhodes? Hilarious.
Well, And he did one. It was at the end of 2020 with that guy Hannibal that does those shoot interviews and stuff. I mean, he's just like a normal fucking dude. At one time, he was like a prison guard or something. So he's pretty cool though. And he's actually from Spartanburg, South Carolina. He's probably the only good thing that came out of Spartanburg.
Jackpot, should I drop the news that I had earlier and we just make it kind of an exclusive here, or what? What I sent you earlier, baseball related.
Sure. Is that confirmed, or is that just rumor and innuendo?
It's currently rumor and innuendo, but I'm about 95% sure this is going to happen. So
I'm half hot about it. I'm telling you.
Well, before we get into our football talk, ladies and gentlemen, several rumors are out there that Clemson will be looking for a new baseball coach, from what I am told. And we shall see on that. But several folks of my sources up there say that Clemson will be looking for a new baseball coach, with Monty Lee possibly leaving.
So, and here's my thing. Here's the drill. They're going to fire him. I mean, he had a winning season. South Carolina, a fucking losing season. First losing season since got him 1996. You realize I was a sophomore in college.
Right.
When South Carolina last had a losing football or losing baseball season. They're firing their coach for having winning seasons and not being able to win conference games and championships and advance and go to regionals and that. And we're sitting here. We're just sitting on this guy. I don't understand it. Why? I mean, why do we let these motherfuckers overstay their damn welcome? I mean, I can't believe. And it's idiotic. It's lunacy to me that they fired Frank Martin, which, I mean, agreed. That program was very stale and a change needed to be made. No doubt. But, I mean, the guy at least produced a winning record. At least his teams were, somewhat ultra competitive. And pretty much, if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, he beat the teams that he probably should have beat. He lost to the ones that he should have lost to. This baseball team was all over the map. I mean, we're winning series against teams like Texas, who was very highly regarded at the time. We're sweeping teams like Alabama and shit. But, I mean, we're losing to these damn middle-of-the-road team, these damn these midweek games, which is ridiculous. And I get it that with midweek, you give your best pitcher a rest, you give your best position players a rest, yada, 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 I got all that. In no world, in no realm of possibility is it okay for South Carolina to be losing baseball games to fucking Presbyterian College, to the fucking Blue Hose. I mean, they lost to the Citadel. The Citadel's not even good at baseball anymore. They're losing to fucking Winthrop. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, the standards are clear. I mean, what are our standards? I mean, we've never been any kind of power in basketball. We had a magical Final Four run. It was great. It was wonderful. I ran around with a flag. My fucking pants fell down, yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, we've never, we have been somewhere in baseball. We was on top of the mountain one year, and then guess what? The next year, we stayed on top of the mountain.
Well, Jackpot, let me help you with this for just a second. The reason that you did not fire Mark Kingston this year, it comes back down to this. It's Will Muschamp's fault. Oh, why? Because you paid Will Muschamp a shit ton of money to go to Georgia and coach the special teams. You also got rid of Frank Martin. So you can give Frank Martin a little bit of this too. But Kingston, if they fired him, they have to pay him $2.2 million because they redid his contract last season. So instead of paying him $2.2 million and have to go fire him and bring in another coach, they elected to say, you know what, let's give him one more opportunity. Monty Lee, if Clemson fires him tomorrow, as I projected they will, it's going to cost them $500,000 and they can move on. But
So he's
if
at the
I
end
were
of
you,
his
I'd blame.
contract.
Yeah, if I were you, I'd blame this on Will Muschamp because he got
Well,
paid a
I
shit
mean,
ton of money to go
I have
coach
no
somewhere
problem
else.
blaming things on him because
Exactly.
you know. Look real quick. Look who's coming down to the ring.
That Andre the Giant?
No, this was at the Trump Plaza in Casino in Atlantic City. That's not Andre the Giant.
Is that Brother Love? I can't see that far away. Brother Love.
No, you'll be able to see this in just a second when they show a ring shot there. Who is that? It's the
that's Rick Rude, by God.
Ravishing Rick Rude with the tights on of Jake the Snake Roberts' wife.
That's funny. That was like, man, you gotta have balls to get your tights airbrushed.
Do you remember that?
I do. That's some ballsy shit.
That was he did an interview and like he did a promo and he's like, Rick Rude. He had that snake wrapped around him. That's why he's like, you better not come to the ring one more time wearing the tights. So how are you gonna wish you hadn't?
I remember
of course he came out with fucking tights. That was like one of the first cocky, cool heel wrestlers that I actually liked.
Yep. I remember Ric Flair doing the promo when he was wrestling the Macho Man. He was talking about him and Liz were together, and he's like, "You see the towels in the bathroom? There's an R and an L, Rick and Liz." And it's like, yeah, that could be Randy too, buddy.
He said, "She was mine before she was yours, pal." Woo!
She rode Space Mountain. I remember him saying that. Holy shit! I
can't believe that son of a bitch is going to wrestle another damn match.
He's 73 years old. We should all
He's going to wrestle one more match at, what is it, like Starcast 6 or something at the end of July. He's got
nobody knows who he's going to wrestle yet either. I mean, they got to figure that out.
Apparently, they tried to get Ricky the Dragon Steamboat to wrestle him. And look, there is old Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah.
He's had a hell of a life.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Battled all kind of shit, but he's doing pretty well now. Now, I think Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, I think he wanted him for his last opponent, but I guess Ricky not interested. I don't know. Who's he going to wrestle? I bet Sting.
Hogan?
I mean, I'm just trying to think of someone who that would make sense that's still active, because like these young
Jerry Lawler.
Jerry
Lawler wrestles every other weekend. I mean,
does he really?
Yeah, he does. That's not a joke.
What about Ricky Morton?
Yeah, but I mean, will that draw money?
It did back in 1986. I don't know about 2022.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think if you're trying to, I mean, you want another name there, but we'll see. I don't know. All right. Well, let's talk some football, Jackpot. We were going to talk overrated and underrated coaches. Did you want to start?
Yes, and I'm all ready for that. I'm ready and fired up.
All right. Well, which coach do you want to go with that you think is underrated? First of all,
well, first of all, when I started, I just went through a football magazine, just kind of started going through a bunch of coaches, and I found a lot more really that I feel like are underrated than are overrated. I mean, probably twice as many. But number one on my underrated list is Dave Clawson at Wake Forest.
Hot damn, you stole mine, but go ahead.
Yeah. You want me to do some more?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I just said that was number one on my list was Dave Clawson.
Okay. Another coach that I feel like is underrated, and South Carolina will see him in week 1 is Sean Elliott at Georgia State. Georgia State this football program hadn't been around that long. Elliott last year, this team started off like 1-4, rebound takes them to a bowl game. I mean, they've been to a couple of bowl games since he's been there. I mean, he keeps the team motivated. I mean, they always fight hard. And I don't know what it is about him. I like him. I think he's a good coach, and I think he's a tad underrated as well. Another underrated coach, and you're not going to like this one single bit, but I think it's Dave Doran at NC State. He's whittled off how many winning seasons in a row at NC State, and that program has been pretty mediocre for, its entire history. So I think he is an underrated coach that people don't really give a lot of credit to. Sean Clark at App State is another underrated coach. This guy's had that program now just for 2 years. But, I mean, they've lost like a grand total of 5 games in those 2 years. He's really just kept that thing rolling from Jerry Moore to Scott Satterfield, then for the 1 year when the fat Jeffrey Dahmer had it. And then you roll right into Sean Clark. I mean, he hasn't skipped a beat. I mean, he could have lost that thing, but still just winning and winning and winning. Mike Houston at East Carolina, I feel like, is an underrated coach. They went 7-5 last year with, some decent talent, but not like they're not Power 5 level talent. And East Carolina's a team that had been really down in the dumps for quite some time. And he actually brought them up, coached them to a winning record last year. So I think he's going to do some good things there. I think good things yet to come from him. And then I've got a whole list I'm going to rattle off. One more I want to take, and I'll take a break and let you go. Another one is Jamie Chadwell at Coastal Carolina. And I know that a lot of accolades have been dumped on Coastal Carolina the past couple of years. But I really just think that he really just doesn't get enough credit for what he's done with that program, what he's done with Grayson McCall, the innovative offense that they're running there, that they run it to perfection, and nobody else is doing that. And teams have a hard time defending it. Now, they have a hard time defending it at the level that he's at. Now, would he be able to replicate that success at a Power 5 program? I don't know. The defenses that he would face are going to be bigger, stronger, and faster. But I really think he's underrated, and it's very surprising to me that he has not landed a Power 5, at least a Power 5 offer in the last couple of off seasons. Really, really strange to me. I initially thought that South Carolina may go after him, and I didn't like him at first because I thought he was kind of a dirtbag because he got caught up in some stuff at Charleston Southern. But the more I look into it and watch, the guy's really a good coach, and I'm surprised he's still there.
Well, from what I heard, he interviews terribly, but he's doesn't do the best on those interview things from what I'm told, but I don't know. I had Dave Clawson first and I had Jamie Chadwell, but another coach that not a lot of people think about is Paul Crist at Wisconsin. This guy is 64-23 in his career there. He's won 3 Big Ten West titles, but some people think, especially after going 8-4 last year with a team that they thought kind of underachieved a little bit, that maybe he'd be on the hot seat. If Paul Crist's name came up somewhere, he would definitely, I think, be in the mix. So that's my only one that jackpot. I don't think you mentioned him, but Paul Crist, 64-23 record, 73% winning percentage. That's pretty damn good.
He's on my list down here. Paul Crist, he came from Pitt. I remember he was there before Pat Narduzzi. And when Wisconsin hired him from Pitt, I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? I was like, we're hiring this guy. He's got like a 500 fucking record at Pitt. Evidently, somebody knew what they were doing because, he's done nothing there but win. And that program, it doesn't matter. It seems like they're going to go 9-3, 10-2. Every year, they're going to play really good defense. They're going to have a hard-nosed offense, going to play really good on the lines of scrimmage. It's like that's what I aspire for South Carolina to be. That's what I want them to be. A team that's going to play good defense, that's strong on both lines of scrimmage. It's like, but I would like South Carolina to have a little bit more of an explosive offense than what we see out of Wisconsin.
Thanks to Peg and Megan for the super chat. Bob Stoops, Sam Titman, and Jimbo are all underrated. Well, Peg and Megan, thank you for that. All right, Jackpot. Do you want to go to your
Elijah says Sam Pittman's underrated. Maybe so. It might have been going last year, but I mean, this is like people you don't really think about. It's kind of under the radar a little bit. I think everybody's kind of like him and Mark Stoops. I'm like, yeah. I mean, people are giving them their credit now. So,
yeah. All right. Well, Jackpot, do you have you want to do some of your overrated?
Yes, if you can entertain the room for just a moment, because I have to take care of
drain the main vein.
What's that?
You got to drain the main vein?
Yeah, I got to take care of the Nature Boys call. Woo!
Holy shit. Hollywood Jr. joins us in the chat. Congratulations, sir. Thank you for that. No doubt that you would be here. Let's see here. Megan Mullen is an underrated assistant as a coach for team morale. That's great. You're hilarious with that. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Let's see here. Got to go see a man about a horse. Yes, sir. Thank you for that. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, y'all were talking about Marshall Tucker Band. They played last night, not too far from the house. They still got it too, man. They still sound great. Like when I was a kid, I was big into a lot of I lived in Kentucky for a while, and I listened to a lot of hillbilly music. And I was big on like Shenandoah and a couple of other bands. Shenandoah played like at this place called Carolina Adventure World, and I was thinking about going there to see them play, but then I'm like, yeah, that would kind of take away from it if they sucked, you know. But that's kind of what ended up happening. But I don't know. There's Jackpot.
Yeah, I had to wash my hands. You know, we're still doing all that.
Wash your hands, motherfucker.
You know, it's strange. Well, it's not strange, but COVID kind of got us into some routines of stuff that, you know, we should still just do all the time. Like I wash my hands all the time now after I take a pee. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't always do that. I would get in a hurry. And don't sit there and people get there on your ivory tower. You're nasty. Well, I didn't. Okay.
It's not like you're walking around and your dick is dirty, by the way. I mean, what the fuck? I mean,
social distancing. Those lines aren't on the floor in the grocery store or the convenience store for the most part anymore. They are somewhere, but I still do it. And I don't even think about it. It's like a subconscious thing now. So, it kind of got us in some good habits. Jerry Brown says at 5 games, South Carolina is overrated. Your brain is overrated.
What the fuck is he talking about? 5 games? They played 12 games last year. The fuck is he talking about? You know, if you're going to troll,
he also made the comment, how many other active coaches have won a national championship other than Jimbo? Dabo, Nick Saban,
Kirby Smart,
Mac Brown,
Kirby Smart,
Jimbo, Kirby Smart.
I can't think of another one. I think that's it, right?
Did Ryan? No, Ryan Day didn't win one.
No, Ryan Day didn't win one. So, yeah. Why are we getting into all that anyway? All right. Well, Jackpot, do you want to start with your overrated coaches?
Yeah. Let me give you a few, and I'm gonna go back to some more of these underrated ones in a minute. Number one on my list, Steve Sarkisian at Texas. The fuck has this guy ever done? He has a 51-42 overall record, I guess, at USC, Washington, and then 1 year at Southern Cal. He was a really good offensive coordinator from Nick Saban. Okay, well, almost everybody that's been an offensive coordinator under Nick Saban has been really good. You think the level of talent there might have something to do with that? I'm not sold on this guy. I'm not sold on it. Somebody was in the chat earlier saying, I think Texas A&M. No, this was in the Josh Pate thing earlier. Texas A&M, and somebody else are the three to look out for. No, they're not. He's not going to do any better than what fucking Tom Herman did there. He's not going to do any better than what fucking Charlie Strong did. They keep hiring the wrong coaches. They're hiring the wrong people. Making terrible coaching. I can't believe that an organization as big as the University of Texas Athletic Department, with all that money, can just absolutely come up with like 3 in a row dud-ass popcorn fart hires for head coach of that damn storied football program. It makes no sense.
I kind of agree with you on that. I'm going to go with mine. My first one is Brian Kelly. And it's funny because Mr. Boogie, who is, by the way, one of our smart chat folks over there, he always comes with some good stuff. Here's what I came up with on Brian Kelly. I think Notre Dame was happy to see him go. And people are like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, let me give you this. He's 0-3 in BCS national championship games and college football playoff games. He lost those games by a combined total of 72 points, which means it comes down to he got blown the fuck out by 24 or more in every game. The closest he got to winning a playoff game was 17 points. He's being paid as a top 3 coach in the country. Does anybody think that he's really worth top 3 money? This guy's overrated as fuck. The more you look at his numbers, he's overrated in my opinion.
I'm not sure. I respectfully disagree there. I think he's a little bit underrated. I think with the talent that they're going to have at LSU, they're going to be able to pull it. I mean, you got to remember he's playing. He's got a different kind of kid coming to LSU. I mean, he's not. He's next level Vanderbilt level academics almost up there at Notre Dame, and was winning games.
Jackpot. He's paid as a top 3 coach. Do you think he's a top 3 coach? Could you think
I don't think he's top 3, but I think he's top 10. Top 10.
Well, we shall see. I think he's overrated. But anyway, who's your next on the overrated front?
This one's going to surprise a lot of people, and they're going to go, Matt Campbell at Iowa State. People. They're just in love with this motherfucker. I mean, he's 42-34 there. That's really not an outstanding record. Last year, they were supposed to set the fucking woods on fire. Their preseason ranked top 5, top 10. Didn't do dick. Still had one of the best running backs in the country playing for him, though. But, everybody says the reason why he won't leave Ames, Iowa is because his wife likes it there. I don't think so. I think they're just not coming calling for him. I think this he's not all he's cracked up to be. I'm not saying he's a bad football coach. I'm just thinking he's not. He was supposed to be this young up-and-comer, supposed to be the next best thing, and I think that window of opportunity is kind of passed old Matt by. So, yeah, overrated as fuck.
All right, well, my next overrated coach, and by the way, we're going to take calls in a moment here, but my next overrated coach, and people are going to get pissy, but I think it's James Franklin at Penn State, and I'll tell you why. His first 2 seasons with the Nittany Lions, he was 7-6. Followed that up with a Big Ten title and 11 wins. Won 11 games the next year in 2018, 11 in 2019, but then he went 4-5 in 2020 and 7-6 in 2021. That gives the former Vanderbilt coach as many seasons with 7 or fewer wins as he does 9+ wins. He is mediocre as fuck. They're overpaying for him there. And if he was anywhere else, he would have gotten fired by now.
I agree with that. He is not. He's not performed up to Penn State level. I mean, when you think about I mean, what he did at Vanderbilt, I mean, they won what 8, 9 games, like 3 years in a
Right.
row or something. You would think, oh, this guy's winning a natty at Penn State. I mean, with the talent that he's going to have there, and the added resources, and the added, interest on the football program. I mean, no, not really. I mean, he's had a losing record, and yeah, they're not all that happy with him. Go up to Pennsylvania every year on vacation, and I can tell you from being up there, just from the few conversations I've had about college football with those folks up there, because like I'm pretty much really far on the eastern end of Pennsylvania where we go on vacation at. So like fucking pro sports is more popular there because they're really hell of a lot closer to New York City than it is to State College. But I can tell you, we hung out in a bar in this town, East Stroudsburg, last summer. And there's a lot of apathy around that Penn State football program with the folks up there, not very happy at all. So I don't know how much longer he has there.
All right, well, I've got one more for you, Jackpot, and
I can hang out and drink beer with people from all over the country. I mean,
of course you can.
Absolutely.
You're goddamn Captain America. What are you talking about? You can walk in anywhere, and they're going to be like, "Oh, it's fucking Carolina Jackpot. I can drink beer with him." Of course you can. Shit. All right. Anyway, my final on the overrated set here is, and when I wrote this down, I felt like, am I right about this or not? And then I started looking. I'm going to go with Mario Cristobal at Miami, and I'll tell you why. This guy took advantage of a really weak Pac-12 over the past couple of years, won 2 conference titles. One was because Washington had to opt out of the championship game due to COVID. It's a COVID year.
It's a COVID year.
And of course, he parlayed that into playing in that weak conference into a head coaching job with his alma mater at Miami. I think the Hurricanes, they looked at his overall record and those 2 Pac-12 titles because it's kind of hard to argue with hardware. And they fell in love with this guy who played offensive tackle for them. But he choked in big games last year. He got blown out twice by Utah. And he was 35-13 at Oregon before that. But he was only, when he was a head coach at FIU from 2007 to 2012, he was 27-47. 20 fucking games under 500 was this guy.
Oh yeah, he worked under Nick Saban, so he's.
Well, I'm just saying. I think that he took advantage of the fact that the Pac-12 sucks a donkey dick, and parlayed that into getting a job at his alma mater. And you see the people. Oh well, he's squared away and he can recruit. Really? Can he? Can he really?
Well, yeah. He may be able to do that, but I mean, can he hire good coaches? Those folks going to be able to do their job. I think in terms of what they're thinking that Miami is going to be able to do this year in the ACC, I think he may be a little bit overrated. Now we'll see in terms of in a couple of years. I mean, it's no secret. I mean, they'll be able to get some athletes down there. Will they be able to develop them into a cohesive unit? We'll see. That's another one that just like Texas, you would think that the athletic department, the athletic administration down there, the old the old money or whatever, the ones that have been around forever, you would think that, my God, I mean, they have made some just clownish, buffoonish coaching hires down there. I mean, this Randy Shannon. I mean, the fucking what was the guy with the fucking shirt and tie? Was it Al Golden?
Al Golden, yeah, Al Golden.
A fucking turd that was. Manny Diaz, that was another swing and a miss. I mean, they never really gave him much of a chance. But I mean, I don't really think he was gonna do anything anyway. I mean, I like Mark Richt. They kind of let him go. I think those health issues, I think, were going to get into him. I don't think he was going to be real successful there, but another program that just leaves you kind of scratching your head as to, they did it once. I mean, why can't they do it again? I don't get it.
Do you want me to piss off the Tennessee fans and tell you why I think that Josh Heupel's underrated, or you want to go? We'll save that for last.
Because
I got numbers
why
on
would you
Heupel,
piss
too.
him off if you told him he's underrated?
Because they think he's the second coming of Christ. Billy's over there beating the shit out of his
Is he
mail order
overrated
right
or is he
now.
underrated?
He's overrated.
Okay.
Everybody's talking about he's a great young coach and he's on the rise. He's overrated.
Well, he's not young for one, but anyway, go ahead.
Well, the thing with Heupel is that when he took over the UCF job, the Knights were coming in off an undefeated season under Scott Frost. He took over in 2018, and he picked up where he left off, going 12-1, losing the Fiesta Bowl. His teams got worse each year. He was there, going from 12 wins to 10 wins, then 6-4 in the COVID year, and then Tennessee came calling. I wonder why. Maybe that's because Tony Elliott told them to go fuck themselves. That could possibly be the way that it was, when their athletic director lied about interviewing him, but we don't need to hear all that, right? So he led him to a 7-6 season. He's 23-13 at UCF and Tennessee. So 10 games over 500, but he's not the second coming of Christ. Sorry. I hate if that pisses off the Tennessee fans, but he's average at best. Average. That's what you have at Tennessee.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he's definitely a good offensive mind, but he's going to have to shore up the defensive staff probably if they're going to take it to the next level there. But I mean, definitely a fucking upgrade over what they had. That was, I mean, why?
That's like saying you upgraded from the clap to the herp.
Why get rid of Butch Jones if you were going to hire Jeremy Pruitt? I mean, that didn't make, but
yeah.
Hindsight's 22.
Do you want to go down more of your list, or do you want to take calls? Well, I think we should do more of your list first, then we'll take some calls.
Let me give you some more of my list, and we'll do this really quick. I think Brian Kelly's underrated. You think he's overrated? I think he's a good coach. I think he's caught a lot of flack of this offseason because he came down and did a fake Cajun accent or whatever. That's the only fucking news that we hear. I think he's going to do some stuff at LSU. Everybody was like, well, Ed Orgeron, he's a great guy, great. He's great for the locker room, blah, 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 but he can't coach.
And they loved him.
And they loved him. But then, when the chips were down, they started losing some talent to injuries, bad grades, just the draft, whatever. I mean, it kind of fell apart a little bit. But I think Brian Kelly's a good coach. I think he's going to do some good stuff there. Jonathan Smith at the Beeve, Oregon State University, I think is an underrated coach. They had a winning season last year, first time in forever. They beat Oregon the year before, former quarterback for Oregon State. And I think that that he's got things looking up there. Mario Cristobal has left Oregon, and I think that I don't know about this Dan Lanning. I don't know what to think about him as coach at Oregon. I just think going from Georgia to Oregon is just, God, it's just such a culture, a huge culture move, and that. So we'll see. But I think that kind of leaves the state of Oregon open a little bit. Maybe Jonathan Smith and the Beeve can become kings of the state of Oregon again, where Uncle Lou says they speak Canadian. Because he's big time shit talking the Oregon Ducks right now. I think another one, but this one's been mentioned before in a lot of circles. I think Kyle Whittingham at Utah is underrated. I mean, what he did there was nothing short. What he's done is nothing short of insane. If South Carolina had been able to have landed that guy, it would have been wonderful. But once again, a huge culture shock. I mean, why would you go from a Mormon school in Utah to an SEC school? Wouldn't have made a lot of sense, but was definitely on my wish list. I think
it worked for Urban Meyer. I mean, he went from he was at Utah and went to fucking Florida. Worked out well for them. He just needed some murderers.
Well, yeah, that's true. I think
mean,
Troy Calhoun at Air Force and I think Jeff Monken at Army are both underrated, especially Monken. Army was a perennial loser when he got there. I mean, they hadn't beaten Navy in like 15 years. And all of a sudden, he's got them in bowl games and got them. I mean, one of the teams, I mean, hell, people don't want to play them. I mean, you got SEC teams taking them off their schedule. Army, I think Lance Leipold at Kansas is an underrated coach. I think Kansas is going to win a few more Big 12 games this year than what they did last year. I think that little upset over Texas is kind of, maybe the tipping point. What he did at Buffalo was pretty special. Bill Clark at UAB, another underrated coach. People don't talk about a lot. He's done nothing but win at UAB. He was actually the head coach in 2014 when they had to disband the program for a few years. Didn't have any money to keep it going. Because it has something to do with Bear Bryant's fucking grandson or some kind of crazy shit.
Alabama tried to kill that program is basically what it boiled down to. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, now they're playing in a new stadium, brand new stadium. This will make better man have it. Dave Aranda, I think, is an underrated coach. That team won 2 games during the COVID year. Turn around last year, win 12 games, won the Big 12 championship, and this guy's never been a head coach before. So anyone that can do that definitely makes my radar as a good coach, and I think he's underrated because not a lot of people talk about him. Brandon Coon over in chat said this one he felt was a little bit overrated. I think Mike Gundy is underrated. He's 149 and 69 during his time at Oklahoma State. He's been there since 2005. Do you know that they have been to a bowl game every year since he's been there? Every year. Now, he's only won 1 conference championship. The major hurdle, and the only thing he hasn't done consistently to really put you over the top in the Big 12 and put you over the top at Oklahoma State is beat Oklahoma. But other than that, I mean, he's done a great job.
Beretta gave us a super chat that says Spencer Rattler sucks. I mean, if you believe that and you want to pay $5 for that, more power to you, sir. We do read the super chats here, so have at it. I mean, if you really believe that, then I can't help you. So
thank you for wasting $5.
Yeah, thank you for wasting $5 to say that Spencer Rattler sucks. All right. Anyway, Jackpot, I'm going to open up the phone lines here, if that's cool with you. As Jackpot,
without question,
time over there. 803-470-2905. You can call up, and the call doesn't cost you a dime, ladies and gentlemen, or you can waste your $5 and post things like that if you want to get into that. Chris says that Vols run the chat. What are you talking about? Look, I got respect for some of the Tennessee fans over there. I give Billy shit, but Billy's all right. Elijah's all right. Beretta with another $5. It says, you waste our time. Okay, Bill, whatever. Let's see here. What's that guy's name? Let me answer the phone here. Welcome into the program. Good evening. Hello.
Bluegrass Sports Media.
Hello, Bluegrass Sports Media. Beretta just paid $5 to say you waste our time. So there you go with that. But anyway, let me finish what I was saying here. Eric is a good Vols fan. Billy, I give him shit. Eliza's a good Vols fan. You should. They take some of the grief we give them, and then they go with it. So anyway, silly. Yeah, Jackpot, he gave us another $5 to say you waste our time. The guy spent $10 just spending off. When his dad figures out he's sending us money with his credit card, he's gonna be pissed off. That shit's gonna fucking suck. He's gonna cut his internet bill for a month. Anyway, Bluegrass Sports Media, you bring into the program. We appreciate your service in the Marine Corps, sir.
Thank you. I'd like to say one thing. I agree that Kyle Whittingham's a good coach. Underrated, I think, is a little much because I believe everyone has him in their top 10, and I think that's where he needs to be. I don't think he's underrated. I think he's properly rated in the top 10.
Who's on the phone line, by the way?
That's Bluegrass Sports Media, sir.
Oh, okay. I
Oh,
thought so.
I thought I said that. I thanked him for his service in the Marine Corps. He says Kyle Whittingham is rated about correct. Okay. So there you go with that.
I tell you, but I'm a ECU season ticket holder, and I think Mike Houston is probably a top 3 group of 5.
That's not.
Slow down for just a second. You, Mr. Bluegrass Sports Media, are an ECU ticket holder. That's news.
Yes.
Holy shit, I didn't know that. Jackpot. Damn
Yeah.
it. Well, why didn't you come to Jackpot with your tickets last season? So Jackpot didn't have to fucking pay fucking $500 tickets. You could have given him your 2 tickets there. You didn't need to go to that game anyway. You knew you were going to get throat fucked. Why didn't you help out Jackpot?
Well, I was going to, but my wife's the alum, and that was a big no-no. So
okay.
But and obviously I didn't know they were going to get throat punched because they did not. I mean, they won by a walk-off field goal. So
looked like a loss to me.
Yeah, I mean they lost. That's true. What I really want to talk about tonight was have you guys seen this stuff going on with Chris Rodriguez?
Yeah,
I know he got drunk and.
How is it? And Georgia fans are going to be pissed off at me for this, but how is it that Georgia players can do all these terrible things and they miss a half of football? Chris Rodriguez is possibly going to miss 6 games next year, and that's maybe he'll be back again.
Hold on. Who is going to make him miss 6 games? Is this the Kentucky football program, or is that something with the police? Is it something? I mean, who is saying he's going to have to sit 6 games?
So the article I read didn't tell us exactly why he's missed 6 games. They just said it's up in the air, and he could miss 6 games. I think that's completely ridiculous. I mean, these Georgia guys, I mean, they get away with basically everything.
Well, hold on. Look, the stuff, I mean, name the last Georgia player that got arrested for doing what he did that didn't spend some time on the bench. I mean, they did lead the conference in raping last year, but the guy didn't play anymore. I want to rip Georgia as much as everybody, but you know.
What about the transfer kid from Clemson that got caught with a gun in his car outside of his girlfriend's apartment high? And he played.
That happened when he was still at Clemson, didn't it?
Well, that happened. Jackpot's correct on that, and all the charges were dropped. What do you want? You don't have any charges. Nothing criminally happened.
And you got
who was the Georgia player that fell asleep drunk at the green light?
Hold on. Just a second. Didn't you guys have an offensive coach that fucking got hammered and was like driving down the road and had like something going on last season? He still coached.
I don't know. One time we had one that peed on the side of the wall in Greenville.
Yeah, well, it's a Greenville. It's a wall. Who gives a shit? I mean, come on, it's fucking Greenville. But no,
I don't see. Go ahead.
Look, I mean, but what exactly are you saying? Are you saying that you want your program to be morally corrupt and not punishing young men that come there and do stupid shit, or what?
Listen, I'm just as stringent as the next guy, and it's a be who you can afford to be kind of society. And with it being the leading rusher, I think if it was up to Stoops in Kentucky, he would miss the first 2 games that we play nobody, and he would be back for Florida.
Okay, well, let's see who's making him miss 6 games. Let's try that first. Then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Because if it's Stoops that's doing that, then your problem's with your coach. And your coach is basically sending out a message. You're not going to come here and be a drunk asshole and run over people on the road, etc.
Well, I'll say this. If he's promoting that message, maybe he shouldn't be promoting his bourbon so hard. That's all I'm saying. But
okay.
But I haven't heard that from him yet, so I'm not going to come to that conclusion. But
fair enough. All right, man. Well, appreciate it.
Yeah, guys.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Thanks, buddy. I don't understand bluegrass.
Telling you, I don't understand those Mexican running backs and their tequila.
Shit, jackpot.
Daniel Gregory says, Jackpot, you look like the Cardinals general manager Steve Keems. Okay. Can you Google Steve Keems? Let's see how good looking he is.
Steve Keems. Well, you know what? I can kind of see this, jackpot. Hold on, I'll share it with the screen here. I can see it. Let's see here. Yeah, there you go. That could be you, jackpot. Look, that almost does look like shit.
It could. It looks like me when I used to be an Ingles manager. I didn't have any facial hair.
Look, you especially you wearing the same red shirt and shit. Look at that. That might be jackpot.
Wow. I mean, I wish I was him. How about that?
There you go with that. All right. That's pretty funny. All right. 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905.
That Clemson fucker I got into it with yesterday on Twitter said I look like a thumb from some shit.
You look like a thumb.
Well, I sent him a picture of me from years and years ago. I was at a Mexican restaurant and I had a damn mug of beer in my hand. I was turning it up and I was giving the damn finger to whoever was taking the picture. And I said, here's how many scores I think we're going to win by in Death Valley this year. And he said, you look like the thumb from blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, he got like 5 or 7 likes on it because, you know, everybody that's reading his shit's a fucking Clemson fan. It made me feel bad. So I had to tag at the pesky pole to come in there and make fun of him with me. And it kind of was like the white knight that showed up on his horse. Yeah, to help me out.
So Jackpot, when he used to manage his Ingles, you walk into the store, right? And there's a picture of Jackpot, like your store manager is Cale Hall. And we used to all go take pictures, giving Cale's picture. We'd walk into his Ingles and give the picture the finger, hey buddy. And then we'd all laugh about fuck him.
Yeah, that picture was taken with Tom Talbert, Clemson fan, Lamar McAllister, Clemson fan. Took a picture of that. You did. Xavier Thomas, my co-manager. We sold these special made things that this lady from somewhere down in Georgia. She was actually near the Georgia-Alabama border near Columbus. She actually handmade these stuffed tiger faces and like these stuffed tiger, like full size tigers. And she sold them to Ingles, and we actually sold them out of the floral department. And, it's a thing that, only stores that were near in these stores on that Georgia, Alabama border that we had were able to sell them because they're fairly close to Auburn. And then they brought a few of them up to the store in Clemson. And then they brought a few to the store in Anderson and they sold there. And I'm like, well, you know what? We can probably sell them here and easily. And I'm not a fucking Clemson fan, but obviously that goes out the window when it has to do with your job. And I'm all about making a dollar. So we got a couple of those big ass fucking stuffed tigers, which at the time we were selling for like $179. And then we had these just a tiger face, which we sold. They were like $50. It was inventory week that year, and my co-manager, Crist, was working the third shift, and he was a Clemson fan. And, of course, during the break on third shift when they were, getting ready for inventory, he took it upon himself to put a hook up on the top of my thing, put the fucking tiger face down, hang it over my damn picture, which is a big picture in this light-up mural. take a picture of it, screenshot it, put it on Facebook to laugh at for the whole fucking world to see. So yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I had at one time, I had like 6 of those tigers in the store, and I sold 2 of them to this one rich old fart that came in there. Him and his wife apparently were both Clemson alumni, and she had been like overseas somewhere. I don't know, god dang, with their I guess her son and daughter lived in Great Britain or something. And she'd been over there visiting him for like 2 months, and she was planning on coming home the next week from being over there for a while. And this old guy comes in there. He bought 2 of those things from me on Sunday morning. It was like a damn $400 sale. And he was going to put them both on the bed, like for when they came home, or from when she came home from overseas. See these 2 tigers hanging out on the bed together. I'm like, wow.
But anyway. All right. Well, we're taking calls. We decided we go a little bit longer this evening than we normally go. Jackpot doesn't have to work tomorrow. And I don't have to work tomorrow. I'm going to be goofing off around the house tomorrow. So we're having a nice little bit longer show this evening. But that show will continue to go as long as we get some calls at 803-470-2905. You can call up, and Bluegrass Sports Media's call was interesting. We want our players to be morally corrupt like Georgia players, is basically what I took away from that. Yeah, we only want them suspended for a half if they're drunk fucks. That's what we want. So yeah, that's what I took away from that stuff there.
What was it? Go ahead. Grab that one.
I'm gonna take the call here. Welcome into the program. Good evening.
Why is it Mac Brown overrated?
Didn't
he have a great recruiting class? What he ranked in the top?
He might have had a great recruiting class, but I mean the results haven't shown up on the field. I mean,
he's overrated.
That's fine. We can go with Mac Brown's overrated. I mean, he did win a national title though.
Where?
At
Texas.
When?
Well, it was a long fucking time ago, but he still won a national title.
Oh, okay. So Lou Holtz is a great coach, right? He won a national title.
Lou Holtz brought South Carolina from the shithole to some Outback Bowl wins. I think he's a pretty good coach.
He fired his son on Thanksgiving Day. He had to hear about it from the media. So, he's a great coach too. Have a great night.
I mean, he can make the tough decisions.
Yeah. You can tell your son to fuck off on Christmas Day. That's great. Get out of here. I'm all about that. Why not? Good. Thank you for the call, sir. 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. I like when people call and they have a different opinion than we do. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
All right, 803-470-2905. Holtz was good at South Carolina too. You got to give him credit for bringing the program back up. I mean, they were shit his first year, but then they were a pretty damn good team. They put some players in the NFL, and
they surprised the hell out of me that second year, 2000. I mean, it was like apathy had fucking set in, and I'm like, well, here we go again. We won that first game against New Mexico State when the goalpost got torn down. I was like, oh God, well, it's fucking New Mexico State. But then we turned around and then we fucking beat Georgia. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, he might be onto something. Then you had the damn win over Mississippi State with Eric Kimry with the fade. You remember that?
I remember that.
He came in relief of Phil Petty, and that was some good shit, man. I mean, that was a good team. And I mean, there in 2002 and 2003 is like he kind of fucking lost it a little bit.
They were still respectable. I mean, it wasn't like they were a shithole. They were okay. I mean, it wasn't like
no. I mean, goddamn. I mean, look who he was playing. I mean, he had some tough competition. I mean, he was playing Florida, was a power then. Georgia was in there. Tennessee was really good then. All 3 of those teams were really, really stacked. So yeah. You remember the David Pollock 1 yard interception
Yeah.
return
That
for a
was,
touchdown?
That was my buddy Corey Jenkins who made that throw, and yeah, it's Corey
Remember
hates that
what
fucking play. So
Andrew Pinnock in 2004, I think it was, where Carolina fumbled.
yeah,
And it was that same game, I think. He fumbled going into the damn end zone. I mean, it's just, he was kind of snake bitten there those couple of years. And there was that fucking fight Clemson started. He left a damn bad taste in his mouth.
fuck out of here with all that.
He recruited some questionable characters, some questionable dudes.
Eric Watson.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, though, at the time, social media wasn't around then. So, had social media been around, I think you might have been able to kind of pick up a little bit on these guys and their tendencies. But he didn't fucking know. He didn't know. All he wanted to do was sit on a fucking corner and smoke weed and just be a fucking loser. And he
Let's
didn't
go
know
to the phones. Caller, go ahead. What's up?
Hey guys, this is Dr. Bark. So we've obviously been talking about overrated and underrated coaches, but I wondered from both of you guys, you can name one or two or however many you want, coaches that you just can't stand. Let's say maybe one current and one historical that's no longer coaching.
Well, Jackpot's going to do his thing. I guess coach that I don't like right now. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have a disdain for any head coach right now. I give Jimbo Fisher shit because he wants people to think he's better than he actually is.
I got one, so don't be saying him. I'll be right back.
No, but anyway, no. As far as coaches that I don't like, I didn't like Dan Mullen the way that he acted last season, and I think that's because I thought he was better than he was. So I would but Dan Mullen's not coaching anymore. I don't, it's kind of a tough question. I don't really have a disdain for. Oh, Dave Doran would probably be tops on my list, simply because of the way that he acts and the thing last season with the whole. Well, we didn't play the bowl game, but we're here, so we're just taking the bowl trophy with us. Really, Doran? Really? Try winning some games. Jesus, he bugged the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie about that. As far as you guys coaches that we really like. Did you have that too? Or?
Oh, well, you can name that too.
It's gonna piss off a lot of the Clemson folks that follow the show, but I think Shane Beamer's a hell of a coach. I think he's a hell of a coach. He took over a shit job at a shit program and took them to a 7-win season when nobody thought he was gonna do shit. And he somehow spun the mustard juice and everything else into a 7-win program, a 7-win season in his first year as a head coach. I think he's a hell of a coach. The only thing he's done stupid in his life is commit to South Carolina. Other than that, he's a hell of a fucking coach. So there you go with that. All right, Jackpot, where's yours?
Yeah, I agree with you there on Shane Beamer. The things that disappointed me last year, it's really strange. The Auburn win was a really good win, when we were, a heavy underdog there. Same thing against Florida, heavy underdog there. Those were 2 upset wins. But South Carolina really, really, really underperformed last year in that Missouri game. That was like heart attack grill city for me. That fucking shit pissed me the fuck off. I mean, we went out there. And, I call those guys all year long, talk fucking shit to them, yada, back and forth. When we go out there and just absolutely lay a bronze turd. And then the performances against which I'm not saying we should have won these games, but the performances against Tennessee, Clemson, and Texas A&M were just absolutely just fucking atrocious. I mean, the team. I mean, we looked totally unprepared, totally discombobulated, just absolutely got fucking mollywopped. Now, have we won those games against Auburn and Florida, and then maybe beaten a Mizzou also, which we should have because we were a fucking better team than they were. They sucked donkey balls, and then just kind of looked respectable against Texas A&M and Clemson, and then maybe kept the game with Tennessee, maybe went into the fourth quarter with them, then yeah, I would be a lot higher on Shane than I am right now. I'd be like, oh fuck yeah, man, this is the year. We got Spencer Rattler, man. We got Christian Bill Smith. We got his teammate from Oklahoma. We're gonna be great. I've got a lot of guarded optimism going into this year. I really do. I have a lot of it, and it's just because of those things. And I think that's a valid point. But as far as head coaches I don't like, Scott Satterfield is a piece of shit.
Yeah, I should have had that one. You're right. He's also a fucking liar. I mean, he's a documented liar. We could talk about all this other shit and I goof on Muschamp and Smart and all that. This motherfucker is a documented liar. He claims he interviewed for the South Carolina job, and that is absolutely 100% not true. Then he tried to walk it back like Michael Jackson playing Beat It in fucking 1991, and then just said, oh, I'm committed to Louisville. Fuck that guy until the end of time. I hope Clemson wins by 70 against that cocksucker this year. I really do. Anyway, sorry, Jackpot.
They may very well.
He's a piece of shit. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, they're really not very good.
Anything else there, Dr. Bark? We appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, I'll just ask one more question if y'all still have time.
Sure.
So,
how about it? Yeah.
For both you and Jackpot, what's your favorite memory as far as a game from either of your teams, and then your least favorite?
All right. Well,
and I'll hang up.
Appreciate it. Go ahead. And we'll give you that in a second. Let's read Big Barney Ross's super chat. By the way, we appreciate the super chats. It motivates us to continue to do the program. Makes us feel like people give a shit. So thank you for that. Big Barney Ross says Bobby Bowden would cover his 6 kids. Hey, coach, your entire team cheated on a music test. They did. But they are good kids. We're playing in the Music City Bowl. We appreciate him and folks who send us super chats, including Peg and Megan and everyone else. You guys are awesome on that front. All right, Jackpot, your best in-game experience and then your best moment of fuckery, I guess is what he was talking about. So go ahead.
Here we go. First of all, best moment as a Gamecock fan, and this was, I mean, I was really young at this time, 9, I think I was. With the 1984 season, if you remember, South Carolina started off 9-0, yada yada yada. That's all been well documented. We lost to fucking Navy, we know that. But South Carolina had won on the road against Notre Dame, I think, to go 5-0. They went 6-0, beat East Carolina. And then we played at a home game, which I actually got to go to because I got to go to the home games that first year. My first South Carolina game that I went to, I was told, was in 1979 when the Gamecocks played Ole Miss. I was like 4. I don't have any recollection of that. We lost at home to Ole Miss. And this was before, of course, South Carolina was in the SEC. In 1980, South Carolina played at home against the Citadel. Before you ask, we won that one. 45-24. When George Rogers ran for like 250 yards against the Citadel. And the Citadel actually had a guy named Stump Mitchell who played for the St. Louis Cardinals and the Arizona Cardinals later as a running back that was a pretty good hand in the backfield as well. Anyway, I remember going to that game vividly because our seats were in the upper deck before the game. We went down to the first couple rows there and just stood and watched the teams warming up. And the Citadel at the time actually had a live Bulldog mascot. I don't know what his name was, but Williams-Brice at the time, and if you've ever seen any pictures of this place from like the early 70s to like 1983, looked kind of weird because it had an upper deck here and no upper deck on the other side. So it's kind of a weird looking place with AstroTurf field. And I remember the Bulldog had went over and I looked and there was something over here on the sideline. And I realized that the dog had took a shit on the sideline. And I was just like, I got such a kick out of that. I remember laughing and asking my mom, Mommy. And I kept on, I said, who's going to clean it up? Who's going to clean it up? I'm like, is the Gamecocks people going to clean it up? No. Anyway, so I got to go to a few games there from 1980, 81, 82. In 1984, I got a little bit older. I'm you get like 9, 10 years old, so I'm getting to go to the home games. Well, then we played Florida State in a game that was actually televised on ABC. And back in the day, if you got to be on ABC, you were the shit. I mean, you were something then. I mean, now everybody gets to be on fucking television. But back then, not everybody got to be on TV. And so, like, we played them, and everybody knew Bobby Bowden was, and he brought that team in there, and they were ranked in the top 5 in the country, and the Gamecocks were ranked like number 9, and I think we were probably underdogs. And there was a lot of tailgating before that game, and it was fun. And I just remember having a fun atmosphere. I was there with my mom and my aunt and uncle and my 2 cousins, and it was back and forth in the first half, and we got up on them. I remember Thomas Gundy running for like a 70-yard touchdown run for the Gamecocks in the first half. And then the second half, I mean, we were up on them like 7 at halftime. Now, I remember the second half kickoff, Raynard Brown, the backup running back for the Gamecocks, took that kickoff at the 1-yard line. Everybody on TV, the commentator says his knee was on the ground. They're like, check his knee pad, see if it's got a grass stain on it. It didn't have a grass stain on it. Anyway, Raynard Brown runs second half kickoff back for a touchdown against Florida State. We went up like 21-7 on them, and we ended up we were ahead of them like 45-7. By the end of the third quarter, I mean, we just laid it on their ass. And they came back a little bit in the fourth quarter, but South Carolina won the game by like 20 points. And, that place was unreal that night, that afternoon. You could feel it shaking. And I was like, man, we're on to something. We are on to something now. And that was probably one of my earliest, that was my earliest and best memory of being a Gamecock fan, and for a long time. I'm never going to forget that. Worst memory as a Gamecock fan, probably in 2013. That was the year Davion Clowney was a junior. It was his last year with South Carolina, and he came out and just kind of played half-assed all year. You didn't know if he wanted to be there or not. I mean, he was like hurt half the damn time. I'm like, this is fucking gonna blow up in our damn face. Lost to Georgia the second game of the year, but we were still like 6-1, and in position to win SEC East title again. And I had been dating my fiance at the time for probably 6-7 months, and we took our kids. It was in October on their first little like road trip away from home. We went to Pigeon Forge, and South Carolina just so happened to be playing Tennessee that weekend, and we didn't go, but we went to Dollywood. And, I got my cell phone out. I'm not watching the game because this was 2013. At the time, I don't know if we had damn capability then to watch the fucking game on your damn phone. If you did, my phone couldn't keep up with it. But I had the ESPN app or whatever it was at the time. So I would scroll through and refresh the score ever so often. We were up. And, just as soon as I got off the fucking water flume, it said that South Carolina was winning and the game was final. I'm like, okay. Well, apparently the fucking internet in Dollywood at the time was fucking shit. Because then I refresh it again, and the store starts flashing back and forth. It's like Tennessee 24, South Carolina 22. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? And then I finally get it says final, Tennessee 24, South Carolina 22. I'm so goddamn mad. I mean, I could have had an actual heart attack right there in damn Dollywood. I'm like, are you fucking? And then there's a few people there with Tennessee stuff on. It didn't go to the game either, but I hear them start hooting and hollering. I'm like, did they win? I didn't have my Gamecock stuff on. I was just there. I was just like Joe Schmo at damn Dollywood. I said, did they actually win the game? Tennessee's there. It's like, yes. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? They won like 3 games that year. They went 1-7 in the SEC, and the win was against the Gamecocks. I mean, that was just awful, absolutely awful. I mean, how do you lose to a team that horrible? I don't get it.
All right, let's read Big Ronnie Ross's super chat, and then I'll give you mine. He says, what does the Louisiana Department of Waste do when it's through with a garbage truck? They clean it, paint it, and sell it to a Razorback fan as a Winnebago. Thank you, Big Ronnie Ross. All right, here are my 2 as a Clemson fan. Look, the national title wins were great. I think those are all, people remember those. But probably my greatest Clemson win memory was, man, I'll tell you what, my wife had never been to a Clemson game, right? So we took her to her first Clemson game. And this is like, what was it, 4 years ago? It's the year that NC State took Clemson to overtime.
2016.
Yeah, 2016. So NC State comes into that game. They're like a 17-point favorite or whatever. My wife gets her first bit of Clemson tailgating. Everybody's all happy to see her and all this shit. And we went with Positive Mike, who's a friend of the program. We appreciate him. But we get up there, and literally in the third quarter, my wife doesn't give a shit. She was reading a fucking book. She could give 2 fucks about the game. Seriously, that's my wife. Fucking, she wants to read books, whatever. So looks at me and says, and Positive Mike actually told her, he's like, man, we lose this game. You got to walk home. And she looks up, and NC State's winning the game. And she goes, do you think he's fucking serious? And then, of course, Clemson wins the game late. And I'll always remember that because it was the first time my wife went to a game. Now, as far as losing, I went and watched Clemson lose a game at Duke. 5,000 people in the stands, 4,900 of them were Clemson fans. Duke hits a 50-yard field goal at the buzzer. Fuck Tommy Bowden. Fuck him in the face forever. There you go with that. Big Barney Ross with another super chat. What's 100 yards long and has 3 teeth? The front row at an Alabama game. Thank you for that.
I didn't catch flack for it, but people saw me in a different light this evening on the old Josh Pate 24/7 podcast recording there, live show. I actually defended Clemson a little bit because there was some idiot in the chat named Cole Yarborough or something. He made just some dumb fucking comment. He said Clemson was garbage before Dabo came around. And I'm like, no, they really weren't. I mean, he's like, yes, they really were. No, dude, I'm like, they had a losing season in 1992 and 1998. I'm like, other than that, I mean, they had all winning seasons from like fucking 1977 until goddamn Dabo got there. I'm like, they weren't fucking garbage. I'm like, did you just start watching football? You're like, no, I've been watching for 30 years. And I'm like, okay, well, you know that, I mean, the comment that you made was just, I mean, it's kind of stupid. And then Jordan Bowman, who's not in this chat room tonight. Sometimes Jordan comes around here. It's a Clemson fan. He's like, is Jackpot actually defending Clemson? I'm like, well, I mean, I guess I am. I'm like, but you know, I have a problem when people just say stupid fucking shit, and then when they get pointed out for being incorrect on it, then they sit here and try to fucking defend it.
Harry Leg says I don't know whose dumbass he's talking about. He blocked, but yeah, you folks that are mods, man, don't block people unless they fucking do dumb shit. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, that's. I get frustrated when people say things like, you know, they give South Carolina shit, but South Carolina's had some good fucking seasons too. And then it's just people that just make dumbass comments. That get us my nerves too. Fucking really.
Clemson never won a fucking game for Dabo.
Yeah, it's like you stupid son of a bitch. You realize they pretty much lead the ACC in overall conference titles. I mean, they've got fucking
Why do you
national title and
Why do you
before
think
Denver
Tommy
got there.
Bowden got fucking fired? I mean, he didn't. I mean, the guy didn't exactly lose a whole shit ton of games there.
Yeah.
So
It's a mess. But anyway. All right. Well, final call for calls this evening there, Jackpot. 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. Billy with a good comment. Alabama invented toothpaste. If the girl had all her teeth, it would have been called teeth paste. Very good, sir.
oh
Very
my
good
god,
for that.
was it Gleam?
Was it Gleam? Damn it. Elijah says that movie Safety was pretty good. Yeah. By the way, I got the NBA playoffs on behind me. Elijah, who was it? Brandon says the Celtics are about to go to the finals. Yeah, there you go with that. Jimmy Butler's a fucking bad man, though. Bad man fucking running around there just dunking on people. But anyway. I've got 93-85, 4 minutes to go. Celtics are they're playing some pretty good basketball right now, so we'll see how that works out for them. Baylor Man says NBA is a joke of a league. Yeah, I'll give you that. I don't think that it's not like it used to be. We got a bunch of pussies playing now. And like I get frustrated when I see like LeBron James is fucking 6'7", 245 pounds of pure muscle, and he flops like a fucking 8-year-old in the lane. That shit pisses me off. Fuck them. All right. Well, final call for calls 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. As we have a good show this evening. We're going tomorrow. I'm off for my birthday, but I'm going to work around the yard a little bit. I think Jackpot and I both are working around the yard. That's what you're doing tomorrow. Right?
It's I actually took today. I guess was like my real holiday. So tomorrow I got to do that stuff for get ready for Tuesday. If we took a holiday.
All right. Well, there you go. Well, thank you, Billy.
Anyone who likes high school football and is interested in that, I just posted a video up. It's only about 3 minutes long. A little bit ago, all the South Carolina high school football 4A stadiums. I did a little video probably about 8-10 months ago on all the 5A stadiums. I just posted up all the 4A ones for you, all the Google Earth images of each one. And it's actually to music. I'm starting to learn how to make some higher quality shit.
What was your musical selection for that, sir?
Fuck. I don't know. High school something or other.
Oh, okay.
High school something was the music to, I don't know.
I thought you might have went with some fucking, something good there, put a little bit of I don't know.
Well, it is good. It's this. Yeah.
Okay. Tom wants to know if we have plans of going to a college football game this year. I will be I'll be covering the Gamecocks all year. I don't know. I might be at one of those.
Loves the Gamecocks.
I cover them for my job. Thank you. As far as Clemson goes, I might go the bye week wherever Clemson's at. I might go catch that. If not, I'll probably go to Newberry and watch a game. I like going to Newberry College and watching a game because I know the head coach there. His wife works with us at iHeart, and you could take a lawn chair and set it up in the end zone, which is kind of cool. You just take your chair, set it up in the end zone, and watch the football game. That's a hell of a way to watch a game. So,
what conference do they play in?
It's some junior college conference. I don't know, Jackpot. It's
junior. That's not a junior college, is it?
I don't know. Let me see. It's like NJCAA. I can't remember. It's like, I mean, it's like a junior college conference. I don't know, but it's still. Brandon says, "Come watch a PC Blue Hose game." Okay, might get into that. I don't know, but that'll probably be the two because I'll be covering. He says the SACD2. There you go. Whatever it is,
South Atlantic Conference. Always believe in yourself. Said, great show, guys. Thank you. That's what I try to do. And that is a great YouTube handle. Always believe in yourself. There's no one else going to believe in you for you.
Fair enough. All right,
Without
Jackpot.
question.
Without question. Very good point, sir. Jackpot. I think we've had a good show, man. We'll get at it after it again on Wednesday as we take tomorrow off. Appreciate the folks in our chat room and folks.
Thank you very much.
You guys are awesome. We'll talk to you later on, guys. Thank you so much.